Welcome to episode 3 of Diners, Drivers, and Rides. This week we're back in Charlotte with Delroy Powell of Apogee Trucking.
How are you doing?
Good, Nicole.
Del.
Nice to meet you, Del.
Nice to meet you.
That was so awesome. Can you tell me what made you decide to be your own boss and start Sonoma Trucking?
Right. So Sonoma is a company that started out of necessity. I had a restaurant and lounge and it wasn't going too well. And I decided to switch to trucking. It's something I could do that would take a short period of time to get into. And I needed to make money almost immediately. So I got into trucking because of that reason. And it's been 8 years now, and I'm still going.
Awesome. Well, congratulations.
All right.
And what's the best part about being your own boss?
Well, if you're interested in not being micromanaged, if you're a person who's good with scheduling your own time, scheduling yourself, moving around the country, seeing different places, it's an ideal job.
And how many trucks do you run at Sonoma Trucking?
I have 3 internationals and 2 Freightliners.
So do you have drivers that drive for you as well?
Yes, it would be impossible for me to drive all 5.
Yes, it would. That's true. So how many do you have?
I have 5 drivers.
Okay, awesome.
And I drive sometimes if necessary.
Okay, great. And you purchased your truck from International Used Truck Centers of Charlotte. What made you decide to come here?
Well, number one, I used to work at a company that's really close by, and I saw this place right here, so I figured let me stop in. And I met the gentleman who became the person who sold me all the trucks, Mike. Yeah, so we developed a relationship. Yeah, he's been like a really close personal friend. I like the interpersonal relationship we have. Doing business with him is fairly easy. If I'm out of town and there's something that needs to get done, he'll take care of it for me just by me asking. You know, it doesn't take a whole lot of rigmarole to get things done. Yeah, so my experience with trucking has been very interesting. I got into it as a novice, not knowing anything. 2 months in, I was feeling pretty good. 6 months in, I was feeling 10 times better. Started becoming more familiar with routes, with fueling properly, with trip planning, and just, regulating your speed, because you're constantly watching for people around you. You're alert 24/7, or whenever you're behind the wheel, you're alert. At the end of a shift, you'll be completely exhausted from sitting down because you've been so alert, trying to not run other people over, trying to watch your speed, trying to monitor, going into a curve. So all these things take a toll on you. By the end of the day, if you're not sitting in a comfortable seat, and if your truck isn't properly ergonomically designed, your whole body can be in a world of hurt. Yeah, I started out, and it took me about 5.5 years for me to get my second driver. So I pretty much had to pay off my first truck, and then I started adding to the fleet, which is a good thing because I was gone for 5.5, 6 years, just being over the road, away from my family, my kids. And now I have the opportunity to stay home. I can take my kids to track practice and swimming practice. And so trucking has afforded me the ability to be closer to my family. Initially, it was not this way. And so, there's a bunch of hard work that goes into this that a lot of people don't talk about. Yeah, what I really enjoy about the LT is, number one, it's simple things. It's things like the locks on the doors. So you have a powered lock and, you just push one button, it locks everything up. I like the controls on the steering wheel, the fact that everything is at your fingertips. I like the space in between the seats. I like the fact that the bunk is a little bit bigger than other regular type trucks. I think it's 73 inches, if I'm not mistaken. I think Freightliner is an inch shorter. However, that 1 inch makes a big difference when it's designed correctly, and I like the way it's designed. My drivers they love the trucks. The LT in particular is probably the most satisfying to my drivers because, again, of the ergonomics of the truck, the fact that his truck in particular has a refrigerator, it has an APU built in. There's also, forgot the name of this box that powers everything up. But yeah, he can plug his, TV in and things of that nature, and he is super duper comfy.
Well, thank you, Del, for joining us today at Southern Table. Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you some more about international and, your experience with that.
Yeah.
So just kind of talk about the day-to-day of being a trucker, owning your business. What does your day look like? Typical day in life of Del.
As a business owner, it's a never-ending story. You have multiple vehicles that we all know it's a machine. Sometimes it's gonna break, so you have to deal with that. But I think a more difficult aspect of the business is dealing with human beings. So your drivers, just what's going on in their lives. Which one has a dentist appointment, which one has to be home next week, who has a birthday, has kids, and need to be on vacation when school's out. So you have to manage those expectations against getting, keeping the wheels turning and making money. So
management of people.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's a big part of the business, and it helps when you have vehicles that are in good running condition. Newer vehicles, I think, are better personally. Just vehicles that are well maintained, and vehicles that are reliable.
Right.
Yeah.
Something fleet maintained probably is
Right.
preferred. Now, do you have any warranty on your current trucks that you purchased?
I have on my 2 newest acquisitions, yes.
Okay, great. And is it a 1-year engine and after treatment that you have on board?
The last one is a bit more than that. It's a bit more comprehensive, but they had this great deal where you could get pretty much bumper to bumper for a year. I like that a
Yeah,
lot.
absolutely. Yeah, that's probably the extended chassis engine after treatment.
Yes.
That's great. Have you had to utilize that in the dealer service network?
I think I used once.
Okay.
So I had
Hey, that's actually
it
pretty
worked out fine.
Yeah, good. So for the most part, trucks have been running. Wow.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Good. If there was one piece of advice that you can give to somebody who's starting their own company like you did, what would it be?
Be patient. The quickest way to get to where you want to go is slowly. So I would say take your time. Don't jump in too quickly. All right, and don't throw all your wood in the fire all at once. The slower you go, I think the more you learn as you're growing in the business. That way you can have a more long-term type business as opposed to falling apart so quickly because you've completely invested, you have nothing in reserve.
Yep.
So a slower, more focused approach, I would say, is best. Specialize in the business, find a niche, a market that you like, and then fine-tune your business around that.
Okay, that's great. So what do you use to kind of find loads, and what do you typically haul?
All right, so I'm hauling general freight. So that means if I'm pulling a van trailer, it can be anything from clothing to, Powerade, Gatorade, or it could be a steel coil, or, it could be anything. It could be lawnmowers. And then another truck, they're pulling an open deck. So therefore, they can go oversized. I'm using dispatchers and also the load boards that are available. So that
Yep.
keep trucking and so on and so forth.
So do you have any type of fuel economy results recorded for your international truck?
Yeah, I mean, for the fuel, I'm getting about 6.8 to 7.2 miles per gallon.
Okay.
And that fluctuates up and down depending on if you're doing a lot of hills, but I'm around there with fuel. I find that the trucks are, I think because of the general design of the truck on the outside, where the front is sloped down just a little, you're getting better aerodynamics, so better wind flowing around the truck and up and over.
Now here you're a great chef.
The word is
Don't
out.
ask who told me that. But I gotta ask, do you have any other recipes that you either meal prep or cook in the truck or share with other drivers?
Quite frankly, I'm going to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
After being in the truck for a while, if you're not bringing your own stuff, the meals get pretty repetitive.
Yep.
The truck stops get a bit repetitive. Whenever I get a chance and I have a 34 somewhere, I would stop somewhere and just get a good meal, like somewhere like this.
Yeah,
I'd
for
stop.
sure.
Oh yeah, stop. I'm a crab cake aficionado.
Oh, okay, which
So-
was perfect.
So I typically stop and find places with seafood. So if I'm in Maryland, there's this place called that I frequent.
I was in Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
There's this one place that I would frequent. I forgot the name of it, but they make an amazing crab cake.
We're gonna have to test this one against it. So how has Navistar, or more specifically Charlotte Used Truck Center, helped you grow your business?
Yeah, I mean, they have helped me in the sense that they've made it really easy for me to acquire trucks. They've made it easy financially, so my down payment was not a whole lot. And finding people to finance me was relatively easy. I think I have had the success that I've had in no small part due to their assistance. I've referred many people to them because of how they've assisted me, and the speed of service and the quality of service that I've received is very important to me, and that's why I've referred people.
So we were talking earlier, you said you were born in Jamaica, right? And then came here to the U.S. Can you tell?
No, it's the opposite.
Oh, you were born here in the
I
U.S.
was born in the U.S.
Okay.
And at 6 months, I went to Jamaica.
Okay.
My mom took me there. I didn't go. She took me. And I grew up there. And after high school, I came back to the States. I lived in Massachusetts for 10 years. I went to college there in Massachusetts. And then I moved to the Carolinas in 2000.
Okay.
And so I've been here ever since. I like the trees. And I met a lovely lady here. And I have 2 wonderful kids that live here. And so this is now my new home. And it's not too far from Jamaica, so.
Yes. There you go. So you can go back and visit. Now you just got married too, right?
Again, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I've been married for a year, and she's a friend and also a business partner.
Absolutely.
And so she makes it fairly easy for me by handling a lot of the things that happen in the background as an owner, as a fleet owner.
What does she help with?
Well, she helps with, she makes wonderful spreadsheets for one
that helps.
that tracks a lot of the things we do. She also communicates with the insurance company and the dispatchers and just a lot of that stuff that no one really sees in the background. She does. She makes sure my guys get paid too on Friday.
Yes, that's the most important. She makes your life easier
Yeah.
too. That's great. Good to have a good support system
Oh yeah,
behind you.
for sure.
So you started off as a company driver, right?
Yes.
With Schneider?
Yeah.
Okay.
I drove for 6 or 7 months with Schneider.
Okay.
They had a program where you could become a fleet owner, or no, not a fleet owner, but a owner-operator or a lease operator, 6 or so months in without bumping into anything. So I did that, and that's how I managed to get my first truck. It wasn't easy. It was very expensive,
Yep.
this truck. It took me about, as I said, 5 or 6 years to get to my second one. So I had to take care of the first one, kind of get that payment, and then started adding to the fleet.
Gotcha. And your first purchase was from International Used Trucks?
Yes.
Okay.
and my second and third,
Yep.
fourth.
So why is the International LT a good fit for your business, Sonoma Trucking?
Yeah, the International LT is a good fit for me because I find it to be reliable. It is fuel efficient. The drivers like it. They're comfortable in the truck. It has all the amenities that they need, and it's, relatively easy to maintain. I like the fact that you can get it with the Cummins motor, but I mean, all the motors are pretty good. They're pretty standard across the industry. But yeah, the Cummins motor is very popular, and so
And that's what you have in your one truck, right?
in two
And two.
of
Okay.
those trucks.
And you have that one Freightliner too, don't you?
Yes, I have two Freightliners,
Two
but
Freightliners.
yeah.
Okay.
Can I say I acquired one through internet?
You did, absolutely. Yeah. So International has the biggest dealer network in the country. How has that benefited your company?
It's been very helpful. It reduces my downtime, so I can get things taken care of. I can get specific parts from these dealers that are specific for these trucks. Yeah, it helps my business because it keeps me from being down for too long.
Yep. And do you use them for preventative maintenance while you're on the road?
I do, but primarily for anything more than just preventative.
Okay.
So if I have, and some of these trucks, they have specific needs. Each truck type has a specific parts that are specific for those types of trucks. So, I can only get certain things from the International people.
And they're the experts on it. Yep.
Yeah, they're the experts and they know about their trucks and their parts.
Right. So I heard you're a military vet. How has that prepared you to own your own business?
I think what I've found is that being in the military, you have to learn to adapt to new environments, new people. You need that in trucking because you're moving from place to place, dealing with different people, different shippers, different receivers, different dispatchers or agents. So I found it to be very helpful in the sense that it made me comfortable being uncomfortable.
Okay.
So I was, I'm able to move and shake in different environments without being burdened down or getting flustered or frustrated.
So I heard you call International Used Truck Centers of Charlotte, the team there, your work family.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
All right. So I'm not busy 24/7. So when I have time, as I live relatively close by, I would take a trip by, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And just visit and just, see what's going on, say hi to the guys, talk to leadership there and the salespeople. And they say the bathroom is my office because I'll stop and use the bathroom and just keep going.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, they're cool with it because, they're cool with it.
Yeah, just to sit and talk, right, with someone, talk about life. That's awesome.
Yeah, and just, what's coming up down the pipeline. And sometimes I just use it as a barometer just to gauge to see where my business is or, what they have on the lot. And is there anything else that I could acquire that's within reason for my business?
So they're kind of your industry experts, always looking out for you and looking for, your next move.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Episode 3 of Diners, Drivers, and Rides with Delroy Powell is in the books. Thank you, Del, for joining us at Dogwood Southern Table in Charlotte, North Carolina, to talk about how International Used Truck Centers is considered a part of the Sonoma Trucking family. We appreciate the opportunity to be with you for the long haul.